From the depths of the practice squad to the brink of a potential breakthrough, the Browns are preparing something that could change the course of the season. Quiet behind-the-scenes moves, overlooked preseason performances, and a defensive comeback no one expected, all contributing to a story fans won't want to miss. If you think you've seen everything this roster has to offer, think again. This could be the spark Cleveland has been looking for. So hit the like button and come with me and I'll tell you everything. Devin Bush is quietly emerging as one of the most important pieces on this Browns defense. After years of inconsistency and injury setbacks, it looks like Bush has finally found his footing in Cleveland. This is a guy who entered the league as a top 10 pick, showed flashes of stardom early with Pittsburgh, and then saw it all nearly unravel after a devastating ACL injury. And now, here he is, making plays all over the field, trusted by the coaching staff, and quickly becoming one of the key leaders on this team. Against the Bengals and Ravens in the first 2 weeks, Bush was all over the field, 15 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, a QB hit, 2 passes deflected. He's not just filling space out there. He's disrupting plays. He's reading offenses. And more than anything, he's producing when the Browns need it most. His resurgence isn't just good news, it's necessary. With Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out for the entire 2025 season, Cleveland needed someone to step up in that linebacker room. Bush has answered the call. His return on that 1-year, $3.25 million prove-it deal has already paid dividends. And it's not just what he's doing on the stat sheet. Browns linebackers coach Jason Tarver has been vocal about Bush's mentality and dedication, saying he gave himself to the system. That kind of buy-in, especially for a player on his 3rd team in 3 seasons, is rare. And it's exactly what this defense needs. What makes this story even more intriguing is that Bush isn't doing this alone. Rookie Carson Schweissinger is right there next to him, holding his own and stacking up 13 tackles in just 2 games. That pairing, Bush and Schweissinger, could end up being the heart of the Browns' defensive unit this year. For the first time since his early days in Pittsburgh, Devin Bush looks settled. And more importantly, he looks healthy. This might be the first time in his NFL career that everything around him is working in his favor: coaching, teammates, role clarity, and most importantly, opportunity. But while Bush's rise is a great story for the defense, on the offensive side of the ball, things aren't quite as optimistic. Cleveland's receiving core is in rough shape right now. Following DeAndre Carter's concussion, the team is left with just Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Jamari Thrash, and Isaiah Bond as healthy options. That's a thin group, and it showed in Week 2. In the meltdown against Baltimore, Browns wide receivers not named Jeudy managed just 4 catches for 33 yards. That's unacceptable in a game where Joe Flacco aired it out 45 times. Enter Gage Larvadain. The undrafted rookie is back with the Browns, this time on the practice squad, but fans haven't forgotten what he did in the preseason. Larvadain was a standout in training camp and earned a spot on the initial 53-man roster thanks to his explosive play and consistent hands. In 3 preseason games, he hauled in 9 catches for 94 yards and a touchdown, and even punched in a rushing TD on a trick play. But after the team activated rookie RB Quinton Judkins, Larvadain was released to make room. Now he's back, and with the current state of the receiver room, his return couldn't have come at a better time. While he may not be elevated in time for Sunday's matchup against Green Bay at Huntington Bank Stadium, it's only a matter of time before this coaching staff gives him another shot. Larvadain isn't just a feel-good story, he's a legitimate option who can bring some life to this struggling offense. He's only 22, and considering the Browns haven't had much luck developing young wideouts in recent years, there's a real opportunity here for him to break that trend. His college journey says a lot about his work ethic and skill. After a solid 2022 at Miami, OH, where he had 679 yards and 2 touchdowns, Larvadain transferred to South Carolina and still managed to post over 220 yards in a more competitive environment. The kid can play. And when you combine that with the chemistry he already showed with this roster during the preseason, it's easy to see why fans are excited to have him back in the building. Meanwhile, the Browns continue to reshape the practice squad, adding offensive linemen Joshua Miles and Tyree Phillips, along with cornerback Trey Avery. To make space, the team waived Logan Brown, Ralph Holley, and Lamarian James. Phillips brings a wealth of experience with 47 career games under his belt, while Miles, a 6th-year vet, has size and versatility. Avery, on the other hand, has seen action in 38 games since going undrafted in 2022. But again, the real headline here is Larvadain. With the offense sputtering and pass catchers dropping crucial balls, it's not a stretch to imagine Larvadain getting the call sooner rather than later. So now we've got two major developments unfolding, Devin Bush revitalizing his career and leading the Browns defense, and Gage Larvadain possibly on the cusp of getting his second shot in Cleveland. Which storyline gets you more fired up? Are you more excited about what Bush brings to this defense, or are you holding out hope that Larvadain is the answer to the Browns' receiving woes? Let me know in the comments. And while we're talking about Gage Larvadain's return, we have to remember just how electric he was in that preseason stretch. Every time he stepped on the field, he made something happen. It wasn't just about the numbers, though his 94 receiving yards and 2 total touchdowns in 3 games were solid, it was the way he played. Fast, fearless, decisive. He fought for every yard after the catch, wasn't afraid of contact, and showed a level of route running polish that you rarely see in undrafted rookies. That kind of intensity and instinct just jumps off the screen, and frankly, it was hard to understand why the team let him go in the first place. But now with Carter sidelined and the offense desperately needing reliable hands, Larvadain could be more than just a practice squad body. He might be one of the few solutions left in-house. And while there's no guarantee he gets the elevation for Week 3, especially against the physical Green Bay defense, you get the feeling his number is going to be called sooner rather than later. The trust he earned in camp didn't disappear. And with Kevin Stefanski needing to inject some energy into this offense, turning to a guy who's already proved himself in this system makes a lot of sense. This is especially important considering that the Browns haven't had much success developing young wideouts under Stefanski and Andrew Berry. But Larvadain is different. His college journey shows resilience and adaptation. He wasn't in a powerhouse program with a national spotlight. He had to make his name through production, not hype. And still, he managed to transition from a standout year at Miami, OOH, to holding his own at South Carolina in the SEC. That's not easy. That's not luck. That's work ethic. Meanwhile, the offensive struggles remain a dark cloud over this team. Joe Flacco is throwing the ball plenty, 45 attempts in Week 2, but the receivers aren't doing their part. When you're relying solely on Jerry Jeudy to make plays, defenses can adjust fast. The other receivers, Tillman, Thrash, Bond, haven't stepped up. Drops, miscommunications, and missed routes have all contributed to stalled drives and turnovers. And you can't waste strong defensive performances like the one Bush and company delivered against Baltimore. This defense has top-tier potential, but they can't do it alone. And that's what makes Larvadain's potential return to the field so critical. He's not just depth. He's a spark plug, someone who can break open a slant route and turn it into 20 yards. Someone who's already familiar with the system, who doesn't need weeks to get acclimated. In a season where every win is going to matter, you need every edge you can get. Gage Larvadain might just be that edge. So tell me, do you think Larvadain deserves to be activated? Should the Browns give him the shot many fans believe he's earned? Or should they look elsewhere for answers in the wide receiver room? Drop your take in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and click on the video on your screen now for more exclusive Browns updates. Go Browns!